As Chibueze's eyes opened to the dark secrets of the company, he found himself torn between his loyalty to his mentor and his duty to uncover the truth. With each step, he was drawn deeper into a web of deceit and corruption that threatened to destroy everything he had. Would he find the courage to stand up for what was right, or would the price of silence be too high to pay? In a small village of Anambra in the southeastern part of Nigeria, there lived a young boy named Chibueze. Chibueze was the son of a fisherman named Papa Uchenna. Papa Uchenna was a kind and hardworking man who provided for his family by fishing in the nearby river. Chibueze loved his father dearly and enjoyed helping him with his fishing trips. However, Chibueze had bigger dreams for himself. He wanted to be a successful entrepreneur and make his family proud. Chibueze would often spend hours thinking about what kind of business he could start, but he never seems to come up with the right idea. One day, while Chibueze was out exploring the village, he stumbled upon a small market where people were selling all sorts of goods. Chibueze's eyes widened as he saw the different types of food, clothes, and crafts on display. He had never seen anything like it before. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He would start a small business selling goods at the market. Chibueze rushed home to share his idea with his father. Papa Uchenna listened carefully and then smiled. Chibueze, my son, I'm proud of you for thinking of starting your own business. However, it will not be easy. You will need to work hard and face many challenges. Chibueze nodded eagerly, determined to make his dream a reality. The next day, Chibueze set out to the market to start his business. He had borrowed some money from his father to buy some goods to sell. As he arrived at the market, he was greeted by the sound of lovely chatters and smell of delicious food. Chibueze's heart raced with excitement as he set up his small store. Just as Chibueze was about to start selling, a strong gust of wind blew through the market, knocking over several stores including Chibueze's. Chibueze's goods were scattered all over the place and he was devastated. He had never felt so defeated in his life. Papa Uchenna had warned Chibueze that starting a business would not be easy, but Chibueze had not expected things to go wrong so quickly. He felt like giving up, but then he remembered the word of his father. A true entrepreneur never gives up no matter what challenges he faces. Chibueze took a deep breath, picked himself up, and started to rebuild his store. As Chibueze was rebuilding his store, he noticed a group of people staring at him. They seemed to be admiring his determination and resilience. One of them, an elderly woman, approached Chibueze and said, "You are a true entrepreneur, my son. I can see that you have the spirit of a lion. I want to help you." The woman handed Chibueze a small bag of goods and said, "Sell this at the market and you will see that your business will start to flourish." Chibueze was amazed by the woman's kindness and generosity. He thanked her and promised to make her proud. With renewed energy and determination, Chibueze started to sell the goods the woman had given him. To his surprise, the goods were selling quickly and people were praising Chibueze for his excellent customer service. As the day went on, Chibueze's store became the most popular one at the market. People were coming from all over to buy goods from the young entrepreneur. Chibueze was overjoyed and felt proud of himself for not giving up. He realized that starting a business was not just about making money, but also about building relationships and making people happy. As the sun began to set, Chibueze packed up his store and headed home, feeling exhausted but fulfilled. He couldn't wait to share his success with his father and the elderly woman who had helped him. Little did Chibueze know his journey as a young entrepreneur was only just the beginning, and he would soon face even greater challenges and opportunities. Chibueze arrived home to find his father sitting by the fire, waiting for him. Papa Uchenna's face lit up with a warm smile as Chibueze approached. "Chibueze, my son, how was your day?" Chibueze eagerly shared his story, and Papa Uchenna listened with pride, admiration. When Chibueze finished, Papa Uchenna put his hand on Chibueze's shoulder and said, I am proud of you, Chibueze. You have shown you have the heart of a true entrepreneur. But remember, my son, success is not just about achieving your goals. It is also about how you achieve them. Always be honest, kind, and fair in your dealings with others. Chibueze nodded, taking his father's words to heart. He felt grateful for the support and guidance of his father and the elderly woman. He knew that he still had a lot to learn, but he was excited for the journey ahead. As Chibueze drifted off to sleep that night, he felt a sense of purpose and belonging. He knew that he was exactly where he was meant to be, on the path of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He felt a sense of excitement and anticipation for the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. The next morning, Chibueze woke up early, feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the day. He got dressed and headed to the market, eager to build the success of the previous day. As he arrived at the market, Chibueze was greeted by the familiar sight of vendors setting up their stores. He quickly got to work, arranging his goods and preparing for the day's customers. Just as Chibueze was finishing up, he noticed a group of people gathered around a nearby store. They seemed to be in the middle of a heated discussion, and Chibueze's curiosity was aroused. He walked over to the store and listened to the conversation. It turned out that the vendor, a woman named Mama Ijoma, was having a dispute with a supplier over the price of goods. Chibueze listened carefully, trying to understand the situation. He then asked Mama Ijoma if he could help in any way. Mama Ijoma looked at Chibueze with surprise, but then smiled and said, "Actually, I think you can help me. Can you help me negotiate with this supplier?" Chibueze nodded eagerly, feeling a sense of excitement and challenge. He had never negotiated with a supplier before, but he was determined to help Mama Ijoma. Together, Chibueze and Mama Ijoma approached the supplier, a tall, imposing man with a stern expression. Chibueze took a deep breath and began to speak, using all the skills he had learned from watching his father negotiate with customers. To Chibueze's surprise, the supplier listened to his arguments and eventually agreed to lower the price of the goods. Mama Ijoma was overjoyed, and she thanked Chibueze profusely for his help. As Chibueze walked back to his store, he felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had helped someone in need, and he had also learned a valuable lesson about negotiation and business. But little did Chibueze know, his actions had not gone unnoticed. The supplier, whose name was Mr. Oko, had been impressed by Chibueze's negotiation skills. He approached Chibueze and said, "You know, I've been looking for someone to help me with my business. Would you be interested in working with me?" Chibueze's eyes widened with surprise. He had never expected such an offer. He thought for a moment, weighing the pros and cons. Then he nodded eagerly and said, "Yes, I'm interested." Mr. Oko smiled and said, "Good. I will send someone to pick you tomorrow morning. We will discuss the details of the job then." Chibueze nodded, feeling a sense of excitement and nervousness. He had no idea what the job would entail, but he was eager to learn and take on a new challenge. As Chibueze packed up his store and headed home, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had helped someone in need, learned a valuable lesson, and even landed a new job opportunity. It had been a good day indeed. But little did Chibueze know his life was about to change in a way he never could have imagined. The next morning, Chibueze woke up early, feeling excited and nervous about his new job opportunity. He got dressed and had a quick breakfast before heading out to meet Mr. Oko's representative. As he walked to the meeting point, Chibueze couldn't help but wonder what the job would entail. Would he be working in an office or out in the field? Would he be selling goods or providing services? When he arrived at the meeting point, Chibueze saw a sleek black car waiting for him. A smartly dressed driver stepped out and greeted Chibueze, saying, "Good morning, young man. My name is Driver Joseph. I am here to take you to meet Mr. Oko." Chibueze nodded and got into the car, feeling a sense of excitement and adventure. As they drove through the busy streets, Chibueze asked Driver Joseph about Mr. Oko and the job. Driver Joseph smiled and said, "Mr. Oko is a very successful businessman. He owns several companies and is known for his innovative ideas. As for the job, I'm not entirely sure what it entails, but I know it's something big. Chibueze's curiosity was aroused. He couldn't wait to meet Mr. Oko and learn more about the job. After 30 minutes drive, they arrived at a large, impressive building. Driver Joseph led Chibueze to the top floor, where they were greeted by a receptionist. "Welcome, Chibueze," she said, smiling. "Mr. Oko is expecting you. Please follow me." Chibueze followed the receptionist to a large, luxurious office. Mr. Oko, a tall, imposing man with a warm smile, stood up to greet him. "Ah, Chibueze, my young friend," he said, shaking Chibueze's hand. "I am glad you could make it. Please sit down and let's talk business." Chibueze sat down, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation. He had no idea what Mr. Oko had in store for him, but he was ready to listen and learn. "So, Chibueze," Mr. Oko began, "I have been watching you from afar. I have seen the way you work hard and help others. I believe you have great potential and I want to help you achieve your dreams." Chibueze's eyes widened with surprise. He had never expected Mr. Oko to say something like that. "What do you have in mind, sir?" Chibueze asked in curiosity. Mr. Oko smiled and leaned forward, saying, "I want to offer you a job as my apprentice. You will work closely with me and learn the ins and outs of my business. You will also have the opportunity to develop your own business ideas and pitch them to me." Chibueze's eyes grew wide with excitement. This was an opportunity of a lifetime. "Yes, sir," Chibueze exclaimed. "I accept your offer." Mr. Oko smiled, seemingly pleased with Chibueze's enthusiasm. "Excellent," he said. "I will have my assistant, Miss Ugozi, show you to your new office. You will start working with me tomorrow morning." Chibueze nodded, still feeling a bit dazed from the sudden turn of events. He followed Miss Ugozi to his new office, which was located in a modern, high-rise building in the heart of the city. As he settled into his new office, Chibueze couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had come a long way from his humble beginning as a young boy selling goods at the market. But as he began to explore his new office, Chibueze realized that he had a lot to learn. There were computers, phones, and all sorts of equipment that he had never seen before. Just as Chibueze was starting to feel overwhelmed, Miss Ugozi appeared at his doorstep. "Hello, Chibueze," she said with a warm smile. "I see you are getting settled in. Do you have any question about your new role?" Chibueze nodded, feeling a bit more at ease. "Yes, please," he said. "I am not sure what I'm supposed to be doing." Miss Ugozi giggled. "Don't worry, Chibueze. You will learn quickly. For now, let's just focus on getting you familiar with the office and our systems." Chibueze nodded, feeling a sense of relief. He was eager to learn and prove himself in his new role. As the day went on, Chibueze learned more about the company and his new role. He met with various employees including accountants, marketers, and sales representatives. But despite the many new phases and concepts, Chibueze couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He couldn't put his finger on it, but he sensed that there was more to Mr. Oko's company than met the eye. As the sun began to set, Chibueze packed up his things and headed home. He was exhausted but excited by the events of the day. As he walked through the front door of his family's small apartment, Chibueze's mother greeted him with a warm smile. "Chibueze, my son," she exclaimed. "How was your first day?" Chibueze smiled, feeling proud of himself. "It was amazing, mother," he said. "I learned so much and met so many new people." His mother nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "I'm so proud of you, Chibueze," she said. "You're going to do great things." Chibueze smiled, feeling grateful for his mother's support. He knew that he still had a lot to learn, but he was eager to face the challenges ahead. As he drifted off to sleep that night, Chibueze felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. He knew that his new role would bring many challenges, but he was ready to face them head-on. But little did Chibueze know his biggest challenge was yet to come. Chibueze woke up early the next morning. He was excited to start his new job. He got dressed and had a quick breakfast. As he walked to the office, Chibueze felt proud of himself. He was working for a big company now. He was going to learn a lot and make a good life for himself. When he arrived at the office, Chibueze saw Mr. Oko waiting for him. "Good morning, Chibueze," Mr. Oko said with a smile. "Today, we will start your training. You will learn more about my company and how we do business." Chibueze nodded eagerly and he was ready to learn. Mr. Oko took Chibueze to a big meeting room. There were many people there, all talking and laughing. Chibueze felt a bit shy, but Mr. Oko introduced him to everyone. As the day went on, Chibueze learned a lot about the company. He met many new people and made some friends. He was happy and excited about his new job. But then, something strange happened. Chibueze saw one of the employees, a man named Mr. Johnson, talking to Mr. Oko in a quiet corner. They were speaking in low voices, but Chibueze could tell they were arguing about something. Chibueze felt curious. What were they arguing about? He tried to listen more closely, but they stopped talking and walked away. Chibueze was left wondering what was going on. He didn't know what to think, but he was determined to find out more. Chibueze couldn't stop thinking about the argument he had witnessed between Mr. Oko and Mr. Johnson. He wondered what they were fighting about. As the day went on, Chibueze tried to focus on his work, but he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. At lunchtime, Chibueze decided to do some poking around. He walked to the cafeteria, hoping to overhear some gossip about the argument. As he sat down at a table, he noticed a woman sitting across from him, eating her lunch. She looked familiar, but Chibueze couldn't quite place her. "Hi," she said, noticing Chibueze staring at her. "My name is Uzoma. I work in the marketing department." Chibueze smiled and introduced himself. As they chatted, Chibueze realized that Uzoma was a kind and friendly person. "Uzoma, can I ask you something?" Chibueze said, leaning in closer. "Of course," she replied. "What's going on between Mr. Oko and Mr. Johnson?" Chibueze asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Uzoma looked around nervously, making sure no one was listening. "I'm not supposed to say anything," she whispered, "but I think it has something to do with a big business deal. Mr. Oko wants to invest in a new project, but Mr. Johnson is against it." Chibueze's eyes widened with surprise. He had no idea that the argument was about something so big. As they finished their lunch, Uzoma leaned in closer and whispered, "Be careful, Chibueze. There is more to this story than meets the eye." Chibueze nodded, feeling a sense of excitement and curiosity. He was determined to learn more about the business deal and the argument between Mr. Oko and Mr. Johnson. As he walked back to his office, Chibueze couldn't help but wonder what other secrets the company had. He was determined to uncover the truth no matter what it took. Chibueze spent the rest of the day thinking about the conversation he had with Uzoma. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. As he walked home from work, Chibueze decided to do some research on the company. He wanted to learn more about the business deal that Mr. Oko and Mr. Johnson were arguing about. When he arrived home, Chibueze sat down at his desk and started searching online. He spent hours reading articles and reports about the company, but he couldn't find any information about the business deal. Just as Chibueze was about to give up, he received a message from an unknown number. "Meet me at the park at 5 p.m. the message read. "I have information about the company." Chibueze's heart started racing. Who could be sending him messages, and what did they know about the company? He decided to go to the park and see who was behind the message. As he walked to the park, Chibueze felt a sense of excitement and nervousness. What would he find out? When he arrived at the park, Chibueze saw a figure waiting for him in the shadows. "Who are you?" Chibueze asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The figure stepped forward, revealing a woman with a kind face. "My name is Mrs. Uju," she said. "I used to work for the company, but I had to leave because of some disagreements." Chibueze's eyes widened with curiosity. What kind of disagreement? He asked. Mrs. Uju looked around nervously, making sure no one was listening. I will tell you everything, she said, but you have to promise to keep it a secret. Chibueze nodded eagerly, his heart racing with excitement. He was about to uncover a secret that could change everything. Chibueze nodded eagerly, his heart racing with excitement. I promise to keep it a secret, he said. Mrs. Uju took a deep breath and began to speak. The company is involved in some shady dealings, she said. They are using their money and influence to exploit people and the environment. Chibueze's eyes widened in shock. He had never suspected that the company was involved in such things. Why are you telling me this? Chibueze asked. Mrs. Uju looked at him with a serious expression. I am telling you this because I think you have the power to make a difference, she said. You are young and idealistic. You haven't been corrupted by the company's ways yet. Chibueze felt a surge of determination. He knew that he had to do something to stop the company's shady dealings. What can I do? Chibueze asked. Mrs. Uju smiled. I have given you all the information I can, she said. Now it's up to you to decide what to do with it. Chibueze nodded, feeling a sense of resolve. He knew that he had a long and difficult road ahead of him, but he was ready to face the challenge. As Chibueze walked back to his apartment, he felt a sense of pride and purpose. He knew that he had the power to make a difference, and he was determined to use it. And so, Chibueze began his journey to expose the company's shady dealings and bring about justice. It wouldn't be easy, but he was ready to fight for what was right. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Turn on your bell notification so you get notified when a new video drops. See you in part 2.